A God who is not worthy of worship is not truly God at all. Such a being is nothing more than a mental idol, a physical idol, or simply an illusion. All believers recognize certain attributes of God, and whenever God is mentioned, those attributes immediately come to mind. Perhaps the most important of them is that God is the creator. But does every creator deserve to be called God? Does the fact that we were consciously designed and created automatically mean that we must worship our creator? Perhaps that creator brought us into existence with bad intentions. Perhaps creation was something it could not resist. Perhaps it was only an attempt to escape loneliness or satisfy its own needs. So clearly, not every creator is worthy of worship. Another attribute often associated with God is greatness. But is everything great worthy of worship? No, because greatness alone is not always a sign of value. For example, would you consider an elephant equal in value to a scientist simply because the elephant is physically much larger? In reality, many believers focus on only one or two divine attributes. They magnify those attributes while ignoring or weakening the others, and then imagine that they are worshipping the one true God. What they are doing is like drawing a caricature of someone and claiming, "This is exactly who he is." A caricature may contain one or two recognizable features, but it is never the true image of that person. And naturally, these distorted images of God have led to disagreements, division, conflict, and even war. Now the essential question becomes, which God is truly worthy of worship? The answer is this: the true God is the one whose recognition naturally leads to worship. And that God must possess all of the following attributes simultaneously. If even one of them is missing, then that God is false. He whose greatness, for us, is like infinity in every dimension, the creator and sustainer of everything that exists, the one beyond whom there is nothing, absolute perfection itself, the God present in every place and every moment, absolute goodness, absolute power, absolute knowledge, absolute independence, free of every need, the eternal God, the owner and ruler of all things, the God whose signs are abundant, clear, and undeniable, the God who never conflicts with reason or science, but is their very source, the God whose rank is above everything and everyone, resembling nothing, the God who is one, without partner or equal, and finally, the God who is humanity's highest treasure and ultimate aspiration. Yes, if you find such a God, you have found the greatest treasure of happiness. But not everyone has the inner strength required to discover and recognize this great treasure. And as a result, many become entangled with the false gods that bring them misery and suffering instead of happiness. This means, if the God you believe in is limited in even one aspect, that is not the true God. If your God is not entirely good, then that is not the true God. And this is why your answer to the problem of evil matters deeply. If your answer is weak, then the God you worship is not yet the one it should be. If your God is not absolute perfection, if he sits somewhere far away, if he needs your worship, then he is not the true God. And most importantly, if your God is irrational, imaginary, or in conflict with established human knowledge, then once again, the God in your mind is false. Unfortunately, most religious people have inherited the concept of God through habit from previous generations. And because this concept has been surrounded by extreme sanctity, very few have dared to ask, is the God introduced to us truly worthy of worship? Deep inside, many already know their God is not truly worthy of worship, but fear, need, weakness in thought, and lack of sincere searching keep them attached, to that false image. Our purpose in this program is to introduce the God who is worthy of worship from every perspective, because such a God has always existed and still exists. The only problem has been our incomplete understanding and limited vision. This was one piece of the puzzle of knowing God and truth. In the coming parts, the caricature-like image of God in many minds will gradually be corrected, moving step by step closer to the true image of reality.